Hello and welcome to the CTE servers, and the reason we're here today is because the Ballistic Shield is on CTE. It's a standard support gadget and its description is a heavy ballistic shield that will easily stop small projectiles. The viewport, however, is vulnerable to heavy rounds such as shotgun slugs, sniper fire and explosives. So, how does this thing work in game? Well, let's have a quick look. So the first thing you notice is that deployment is pretty speedy. It's not a slow gadget to get out, and the viewport is considerably larger than I was expecting it to be. So to get full protection from the shield, you have to crouch and walk. If you're walking normally like this, your feet are visible underneath, and if you're running, then you basically lower the shield slightly and you become almost completely vulnerable. But you can run pretty quick with the shield, and it does pop straight back up when you stop running. The biggest surprise about the ballistic shield is how quickly it swaps in between primary weapon and ballistic shield. It has the same deploy time as any other gadget, so the ballistic shield comes out at the same time that your C4 would come out. Something else I find surprising is it automatically redeploys when you do another action. So here, throwing a grenade, the shield automatically goes down, throw the grenade, it comes back up again. It seems remarkably quick. And of course you can melee with it, so you can shield bash people. It's got a very short range, but it is an overpowering melee attack. It one-shots anyone. Even if your opponent has a ballistic shield themselves, you will drop them on their ass with your ballistic shield. And the shield bash, of course, will go through fences and anything that's normally destructible to the knife. And the shield doesn't appear to take any damage from this. You can also shield bash through glass windows, so you don't need to put it down to enter a building. You can just simply smash your way through. It doesn't have any effect on more solid destructible cover, so it does the same kind of thing as the knife. The one time the shield won't automatically redeploy is getting out of a vehicle. Even if you had the shield out when you got in, you will have your primary weapon when you get out. So that's the basics of the ballistic shield. Let's have a look at it in game and see what its strengths and weaknesses are. So its first strength is obviously its ability to take a lot of fire. Now here you can see two guys shooting at me, and it's only when one gets around me that I die, because its vulnerability is it only faces one direction. Its strength is that there's almost no counter to it close up. So close up you can't take out a guy with a shield because of the melee attack. And the melee attack is slightly overpowered, shall we say. So this poor guy here doesn't stand much of a chance, because we're in a confined space and he just can't get away. Neither does that guy. And it does one shot anyone. Now you might think I'll counter that with a shield of my own, but no. Shield versus shield, it comes down to who shield bashes first. You can shield bash straight through a shield. This shield needs some serious balance work before it goes live. The knife, it can't kill you instantly with one hit from the front because you've got the counter knife animations. If you're slashing with a knife, that doesn't kill you in one hit either. But the shield kills you in one hit in all instances. Now, here you can see one of the vulnerabilities, which is, yes, it will stop rounds. I have to run away from the grenade, but I make the mistake of running towards that guy, and as soon as I start running, the shield drops and I get shot. So what other vulnerabilities does the ballistic shield have? Well, the big one, of course, is it only works if it's facing towards the enemy. Sideways on, you're dead. From behind, you're dead. But the most common hazard you're going to come across is grenades. Blast damage is not the friend of the shield. So, this is a ballistic shield. It's designed to stop bullets coming at you. It doesn't stop grenades, especially if you throw the grenade behind them or slightly to the side. And the best grenade for this is the RGO Impact, which is probably the best grenade anyway. But with the impact you can pick where it's going to go off. so you can throw it slightly behind them and it'll kill them. To gunfire, the shield is most vulnerable at longer ranges because your legs are clearly visible if you're just walking normally. If you crouch, that'll keep them covered, but you're then moving very slowly and you become vulnerable to snipers and they can shoot straight through the window on this shield. So, once the window's gone, you're really vulnerable. The next thing to try and avoid is stationary guns, because they will chew up your shield as well. But the biggest problem shield users have is engineers and missiles. You're going to see a lot more RPGs on infantry only maps just to deal with the shields. Shield users at the moment are far too confident in their ability to survive, and the rest of their classes are working out how to take them out. So besides grenades, the engineer has the missiles, the assault has the 320, and the support and recon have C4. But the confidence of shield users is going to disappear because people are now just loading out to take them down. That doesn't mean shields are useless, they just have to be used tactically. The shield really comes into its own in offense, not defense. So, throwing grenades as a shield user helps up the people around you that you're trying to protect. Moving up down narrow corridors. This is one of the places where the shield really comes into its own. These doors are locked, and all I'm trying to do is get to a point where I can shoot the door opener. The shield is going to keep me alive long enough to get there. Okay, I'm going to die when I do it, but we get the door open, which gives us another route to flank them. The shield needs teamwork. So here we are, trying to take the top of this tower and throwing grenades in and nothing's happening. And my squad mate goes in with a shield and he starts taking all the fire, and then I come in after him and take out the guy that's in there. As with everything that's new in Battlefield, the shield isn't perfect. It does seem to have a bug, and that is that occasionally when you pull it out and you're close to a wall or an obstacle, the glass in the shield will shatter, which leaves you vulnerable to getting shot through the gap. This has happened to me a couple of times now, and the only common factor is I've been stood next to a wall. So, conclusions on the Ballistic Shield. Would it take the place of the ammo bag or the C4 that I usually run on support? The answer is no. It's fun to play with, but is it really that useful? I think if you've got an organised group and maybe one of you's got a ballistic shield, then yes, it could be useful. But if you're just turning up into a game on a random server, I don't think the ballistic shield is going to get used that much. It might have a place in metro and lockers and other close quarter urban maps, but on the majority of maps you just don't know where anybody is, and it's too vulnerable from the sides, it's too vulnerable from engineers and grenades. So on the whole, I don't think it's going to get used that much. Where it is completely overpowered is that shield bash ability. Now that does 120 damage from what I can work out, and it always head hits. It's just unstoppable. Even another ballistic shield can't stop a shield bash. Whoever bashes first wins the battle of the shields. If you consider that you can't instant kill with a knife now unless you get them from behind, why is the shield an instant kill if you hit them from anywhere and there's no way of stopping it? Once a shield has got in close, the only option you have is running. Now you can, if you're lucky, take it out up close, but you have to be very lucky. So here I am with the M320, and there's a couple of guys with shields around the corner. One of them rushes me, I fire, and somehow manage to kill him without dying. Now I would say that that is an incredibly lucky shot, because I would have thought I would have exploded when I did that, shooting an M320 at somebody that close. But that is the only time I've actually killed somebody close up. Now to be fair, I haven't tried knifing somebody with a shield, but I suspect that isn't going to go into the front knife animation if you try it. But other than the shield bash close in, the ballistic shield is pretty easy to deal with. And if they balance that shield bash, so maybe it takes 2 hits to kill you, then I think the shield will be just another gadget. It's not going to be overpowered in any way. Yes, it means that you might have to run away from somebody, but then there's often times when you have to run away from people in this game anyway. And everyone in this game has the option to carry grenades and therefore can deal with the ballistic shield. So I hope this gives you some idea of what to expect from the shield, because I know a lot of you on PC haven't got onto the CTE program, and those of you on console haven't got access to it at all. So there you go, there's the ballistic shield.